nation standing still. Crystal tears, full of snowflakes on your body. First time in years to drench your skin with lover's rosy stain. A chance to find the feelings for the flame. A chance to die. Can we dance into the fire? That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire. The fatal sound. All right. What's up, people? We about to get thing on the road this morning, this beautiful morning. Although it's kind of rainy and dreary outside, but hey, any day above ground is a good day. That's right, and fresh. All right, guys. So, as you guys know, I put out a video yesterday about basically just me covering, wealth inequality, and I knew that subject would probably yield some sort of emotional response from a few of us, and I knew this because we as Black people, and this is something I kind of see. I see this, dare I say, defeatist attitude amongst us as Black people in our community. I think we have a very defeatist mentality when it comes to business, when it comes to investment. We think, okay, the white man they're ahead of us, so why even try? I heard a guy say one time he was in Detroit, and there was just a lot of people saying, hey man, you could buy a lot of houses in Detroit. This was back during the housing bubble when it happened in 2009, 2010. And people were saying, hey man, we need to go into it. Detroit is depressed. There's a lot of houses out there going for like as little as $1. Let's go buy a property. And this brother came in my video, in my comment section of my YouTube post. I was trying to encourage brothers. Man, I'm from Detroit, man. Let me tell you something, man. You can't go up here and buy no property and do nothing with it because Dan Gilbert is a billionaire, and Dan Gilbert is and he's gonna stop you if you ever try to climb up that ladder, right? As if Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, is gonna somehow come in and say, you know what, this nigger has bought 10 properties. He's renting them. He's getting them appraised. They're worth, let's say $700,000. Let's say. Let's stop this nigger. We got to stop this nigger from becoming a millionaire. I don't think that's the way shit work, man. I don't believe that is the way shit works. Okay. We have a lot of excuse making in our society today, man. A lot of us as Black people make excuses for our mediocrity. And I don't know. I just get tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it, guys. So I'm about to read to you guys a few comments. I'm not taking jabs at these brothers at all. I just disagree. That's just my personal stance on it. This is the shit I'm talking about. He didn't respond. This is the shit I'm talking about. So, and that's the thing. I made a comment, and he talking about some shit that really I can't control, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that I can't get out here and do what I have to do. But let's get to it. All right. So first, this brother, shout out to the brother. I appreciate you brothers for watching my videos, but he said something. I'm gonna just read a sentence to you guys. It says, you can't teach money management as a group when there's no Black economy. Now, I understand that to be different. It almost, and this is what happens with a lot of the Yvette and Tone crowd people. They say we don't have an economy, we don't have an economic base, and ignore Black people having income, period. Discretionary income. I mean, you got Black people. I remember when Jay Morrison had his Tulsa real estate fund, And Tone made a video basically saying black people can't even get their hands on $500 fucking dollars. I'm sorry, I beg to differ. Okay, ask that to, let's go ask the wealthy people that have sell shit in the hood, like the Asians, the Koreans who come in our communities and sell $1,000 hair, and the shit sells. And I'm not talking to rich millionaire black women. I'm talking about to black women that have jobs. Okay, there's a difference in having a job and managing what you have versus having an economic base, having owning wealth and land and hard assets. They're intertwined, they work together, but one does not, dictate the other. Black people have money coming into their houses every day. They work, they have business. Some people have businesses. Some black people have money, man. To say black people, if we don't have money, because we talk about teaching money management, tell that to a group of people known as the small hats. They have money management, and they didn't always have the wealth that they have today. They started somewhere. And that's where I'm about to go with this thing. And I'm not taking a jab at this brother Ronald. Shout out to you, brother. This ain't a jab. This is just me. I'm not taking any. This is not going to be any insults. This is just going to be straight to the point and concise. He says every group, in capital letters, has gotten their just due, or quote unquote reparations. Not saying individuals will not make it, but as a group with no economic base, those individuals will just be still waiting on another group for help instead of our own. Let me say this right here. If black people have to depend on another group to save them, it's over. Okay? Jump ship, we're going down. Okay? Nobody is going to give a fuck about the black community but black people. And nobody is going to empower us. Not even the fucking government, which is what I'm finna do when I get on this other brother. You know what I'm saying? So this brother, I disagree. That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't even respond. I just, disagreed. But here's this other brother who's just responded a few minutes ago and said, he came out and said, we are out here trying to become millionaires. Meanwhile, there is a race to become trillionaires among the most wealthy. Obviously, there is a race to become trillionaires among the most wealthy. I will make the argument that there are already trillionaires, aka the Rothschild family. That's what I believe. I believe that they are already wealthy, ultra wealthy people on this planet that own 50% of the wealth of the world. If you add up the Beers family, the Cecil Rhodes people, all of the Bank of England, we don't even know how wealthy the Bank of England is. I will make that same argument that these people are ultra wealthy. Now, what the fuck does that have to do with you fixing your damn credit, getting your hands on some money, and doing what the fuck you're supposed to do with your life to build wealth for your children? Tell that to the Asians who came in this country. Guys, I'm gonna share my screen. Y'all done got me hyped this morning. Let me go and share my screen. I'm gonna say top. Or what is it? Let me go back. What is it? Most expensive, or should I say largest companies? Let's say list of the largest companies in the world. Let's do this. And I guarantee you guys, I'm gonna show y'all some shit. Now, this is a 2020 list. Okay. Please don't ask me for something. I don't want to sign up for no damn thing. I just want to see the list. Let's see. Forbes 2000, Global 2000. Here we go. Here we go. So let's look at the top companies in the world. And I'm gonna tell you guys some shit that we already kind of know. I'm gonna just go ahead, list of global 2019. Okay, let's get to it. Cause I'm gonna show y'all some shit. And this ain't the list. Hold on. This ain't it. I'm gonna find the list first before I even get into my point. Because what I want to show you guys, largest company in the world by revenue, Wikipedia. There we go. This is a good one. Here we go. Here we go. So let's look at it. Let's go ahead and share. I'm gonna share my screen. And I want you guys to see this. Let's see this right here. Cause what's up, Cocaine? What's up with you, lady? Pretty lady. Let's get to it. Okay. Here we go. So, guys, you can see right here, Walmart what's that? 514 in US million, 500, half a million. So 514,000. That's what's that? 500 billion, I'm assuming. I don't know. Yeah, because 1,000 is, yeah, so it's 500 billion in revenue. Uh, Sinopec is an oil and gas company out of China. But guys, what I wanted you guys to see, a lot of these companies in the top are tech companies. That's what I want you guys to see. That's like, okay, let's go with Exxon, BP, of course, British Petroleum, Saudi company. You got a couple of Chinese companies. Let's go with, where is it? Apple, that's one. Berkshire Hathaway, that's your boy. Let's see. Amazon. Uh, United Health technically is a healthcare company, but I would, anyway. This is a company I just talked to a while ago. All right, let's see. Let's go. So we've seen two tech companies. I would call this technically technology. That's three. AT&T is a offshoot of Mont Bell, so I wouldn't really count them. But I saw another list, man. It was all right. Verizon is one. Verizon came out of what was that? They branched out of they basically MCI. Let's see who we got. Ain't Kroger on the list? Ain't no Kroger was that big. General Electric is a conglomerate. Let's see what else we got. So what I'm trying to show you guys is there are companies on this list that are tech firms. Amazon, Apple, and it was a few other companies too that actually were on here. This ain't the list I was talking about, but I mean, if we want to look at this list, still, two companies are on this list that were literally weren't even in existence 20 years, 25, 30 years ago. Apple came around when I was a kid. They were a very small fledgling company by a guy named Steve Jobs, who was basically an immigrant. And then you got Amazon, obviously. Jeff Bezos, who is an immigrant as well. I think he's Cuban, actually. He's of Cuban descent. But the point I'm trying to make, guys, is that 30 years ago, right? Let's go back. When we were kids and we look at what's the name of it? What's the name of it? People out here also don't bring up STEM. Let me say this. 30 years ago, guys, when we were kids, some of us wasn't even around, right? When you were kids, you used to go to Blockbuster Video and rent movies, and you used to go in there and Blockbuster was a juggernaut. They had 90% of the damn market share. They were a juggernaut, right? There was a time where a company jumped in by the name of Redbox, and Blockbuster had a chance to buy Redbox when they were a fledgling company, and they didn't respect Redbox, right? Next thing you know, Redbox took over. I'm talking about in a matter of like, I was around, what was that, about 10 years ago? Redbox just took over. Everybody was on Redbox, right? And then the damn Fire Sticks came out and destroyed Redbox. We talking about in a matter of shit, about 3-4 years. When Netflix hit, Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix. Blockbuster had a chance to buy what's the name of that company? Redbox. Blockbuster had a chance. There's also a company by the name of Movie Gallery. You guys probably ain't even familiar with them unless you're from the South. Movie Gallery was started, they based out of Troy, I think, Troy, Alabama. Movie Gallery was a major movie rental place. They had a chance to buy Hollywood Flicks, Netflix. They had a chance to buy Netflix years ago. And they turned it down. Not only they turned it down, they didn't respect it. Now, why am I bringing this up? Guys, the way economics work, we don't study this shit for real. We talk this shit, we get on the internet and pull shit out our ass, but we really don't study this shit for real. Because if we did, we would know and we would recognize that business and the way shit works in an economy, a motherfucker won't be your competition. He'll be laughed at. The next thing you know, that motherfucker, before we even get on their radar, black people, you could go out here and make 20, 30, $100 million. Motherfuckers won't care. That's basically the point I'm trying to make. Nobody's going to stop you. There aren't no impediments. The only impediments that you would face are the natural impediments that anyone would face. Number one. Number two, the fact that you're trying to become a millionaire in this country right now, I don't really think we should be focused on. That's like saying you go to school, right? And a motherfucker is a bully. right? And every once in a while he fuck with you. So that's like saying, man, why go to school, man? I mean, the bullies there mean shit. We all dealt with bullies as kids. Who quit going to school because of a fucking bully? That's because you need your education to be a functioning member of society. So to say that somebody that you are that you shouldn't go to school because there are bullies there is some fuck shit. You should have, man, fuck that shit. We're gonna have to deal with his ass some kind. We're gonna have to find a way. Or in the Serengeti, right? A gazelle. Do you ever see a gazelle starve to death because he's scared to go to the watering hole? Or will he say, let me be careful and circumspect and be careful of the alligators and be careful of the cheetahs and lions, but I'm still going to get this water because I need it. At the end of the day, we are black people caught in a rock and a hard place. No government is going to save black people. This is why I'm not trying to start with their subscribers, because I know I got a lot of their subscribers that listen to my videos and shit like that. So I'm not gonna go at Yvette and Tone, because I know I'll lose half my subscribership if I say some shit, right? But they are being destroyed right now, and I kind of think I'm not cool with it. I think we need to stop all this infighting and focus on black empowerment. But at the same time, some of the shit that they have said has kind of put them in a precarious situation. You see what I'm saying? And so when you say shit like, you shouldn't go after business and opportunity because we can't win, or it's a moot point because white, wealthy, rich, black, ain't no white man coming in the black community stopping you from starting an internet fucking business. Okay. I just went to a conference full of hundreds of black people. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably at least maybe out of these people, I'm gonna say about 300-400 people was at the conference. I'm gonna say at least about 40 of them were probably real internet millionaires. And I'm sure out of that, maybe 1 in 3 were actually making north of $100,000 on the internet that was at that conference. So that we talking about over 100 people. Shout out to Lamar Tyler. He has something called the Mastermind Group, and that's where the brother Reginald Perry, the brother who has the real estate channel with 50,000 subscribers. He did a video with me on YouTube. He was talking about it. They have a mastermind group. They kicking ass, man. They out here getting it in. And so when I hear people say shit like they say, it really bugs me because it's almost like I hear a defeated, don't go out and try person. And then they want to turn around and say, well, I'm not saying that's what the fuck you saying. That's what you're saying. Meanwhile, there's a race of trillionaires, race to become trillionaires among the wealthy. Duh. That's what they trying to do. Why? Let me tell you something. People that are rich a lot of times, you're not in their purview until you start making their pockets get thin. And the only way you're going to do that, it's a lot of money. See, and basically what this really boils down to, guys, is your viewpoint. Do you see a world of lack, or do you see a world of resources, full of resources and abundance? Do you have an abundance mindset or a scarcity mindset? And a lot of people have a scarcity mindset. They believe it's only so much that can be created. Going back 40 years, right? We didn't even know that there could be an Amazon. We didn't even know that Microsoft could become the juggernaut that it became. We didn't even know that Apple was going to become what it became, right? I don't even think Apple was around, and if it was a real small, tiny company. Most of these companies, Hewlett Packard, Compaq, Presario, all these people out of Austin, these people out of Silicon Valley, these places started in your garage, started small. The Bible says, despise not humble beginnings. That shit, what purpose does a comment like this serve? I'm gonna go back and read it again. We are out here trying to become millionaires. Meanwhile, there is a race to become trillionaires among the most wealthy. Wealth equality is not unfair if it is on an equal playing field. So what you're basically saying is, black people, you don't even have a fair shot. If it was an even playing field, then yes. Guys, let me tell you something. Black people, you are the wealthiest people on the planet that have ever existed in America. And yet, listening to this defeated ass shit he typing up in his comment section, that's a brother who I will never, I ain't gonna say I can't do business with a brother like that, but I can't be in close quarters with a brother like that too long. I can't. And this is not a sense of me trying to disrespect. I'm not being disrespectful. Me and that brother probably would not make it because of how you see shit. You see what I'm saying? I played basketball. Certain things I would not admit. But personally, if I sit down now in my 40s and say, yeah, there were guys that were just better than me, I don't have no problem with saying that shit. Because I really don't care. But when I was a warrior out there playing, there was some shit I just would not say. And I didn't believe it because I felt in my mind, if he goes up against me, I'm going to find a way, and this is usually how it would happen. I would have to find a way. There were people that were better than me, but I found a way to fucking win. Or if I didn't find a way to win, I went in my backyard, cut my light on, and was out to that bitch till 3 o'clock in the fucking morning trying to figure out how to stop this nigga. How was he able to play defense and stop this move when I threw it? How was he? This is the type of mind I have. You get what I'm saying? This is the way I look at shit. And I take that same attitude in business. You have a defeated mindset, defeated attitude. We can't win. Motherfuckers like that just get on my last nerves. No disrespect, but that gets some comments like that I cannot rock with. I cannot rock with. I cannot respect. Because when I hear some bullshit like that, what you're basically telling me is, why even get out here and try in the first place? Why even start? Why even buy? Ain't no white man stopping me from buying no fucking houses and flipping them. Ain't no motherfucker gonna even know that I could be worth 10, 20, 40, 50, 60 million dollars. Don't nobody even know who the fuck I am. I know dudes. I just had a dude on my channel, guys, who literally is a multi-millionaire. This brother, Tyron, shout out to Tyron. Ecom Tyron Spear, go subscribe to his channel. Tieron Spear, Spear. Go check him out. This brother was on my channel a couple of days ago. This brother is literally grossing what, $250,000 a month, $3 million a year. He's probably worth 12, 13, 14 million dollars. He on my channel. I met the brother when he first started this shit. I'm talking about 3-4 months in, I met him. And he was making 25,000 on Amazon when I first met him. Ain't no white man stuff. Notice when you hear people, it's guys, let me tell you something. There are certain things that you will hear that are congruent with people that are successful in business. Number one, they have a can-do attitude, can-win attitude. They don't believe that somehow the white man is hindering them from being able to do what the fuck they gonna do. That's like saying, look, man, we starving, right? We're gazelles in the Serengeti, right? And then we got a situation going on where we're trying to eat. And somebody's saying, hey, man, you can't go to the water hole, man. They got alligators. Yeah, you got alligators, but damn, is every inch of the water covered with alligators? No. So I'm going to find a spot where I can get some water and keep it moving. Yes. Every morning when you wake up in the Serengeti as a gazelle, you have to understand that you're going to have to outrun a cheetah. You're going to have to outrun a lion. You're going to have to outmaneuver an alligator at the watering hole, but you can make it. You can survive. Gazelles flourish in the Serengeti. Okay? Or is there a chance that every once in a while one will get ate? Yes. You live in the jungle. The economy, guys, let me tell you something about money. It's not, I don't believe, this is my personal opinion, I don't believe that is their God-given right to be above us. This brother sounds like that's what he believes. That's right, James Earl Murray. Certain people are just afraid. I don't believe it's somebody's God-given right to rule over me. I don't believe it's somebody's God-given ability to be in charge and tell me what the fuck going on and be over me and shit like that. Certain people, yeah, there are people that are billionaires and trillionaires. I believe they exist already. I believe they out there. And I believe the motherfuckers did what they did in the 1800s, early 1900s, killed, looted, robbed, shot, did whatever the fuck they had to do. And now we treat them like we worship their ass. Call, Meghan Markle husband or whatever, it's Prince Harry, Prince whatever. Them people, all the shit they got it off the backs of our ancestors. Okay, I agree. Cecil Rhodes called Africa his personal playground. That's where that phraseology comes from. So I agree. To a certain extent, as a black man in America, you have to be mindful and cognizant that there are enemies out here that will stop you. Okay. But every fucking morning I get up, guys, that shit ain't the first thing on my mind. The first thing on my mind is, can I manage my money? Can I manage my spending habits? Nobody's gonna stop me from. I've made $600,000 in 12 months. Did I run into a rate? Let me tell you guys a story, right? My second house, right? So I had a dude, black brother named Dominique. He's gonna buy this house from me. He's gonna buy it for $150,000, right? I was only in the house 97, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So the brother, what he did was he came, he gave me a contract. We got an appraisal from a guy, and the guy came out, and it was cool. You know, it was an appraiser, our bets. I never forget his name. That was the appraiser that appraised my property. We had a good contract, $145,000. We was about to close. They had a review appraisal. They didn't like the appraisal. The property was about 1,200 square feet upstairs and another 700 square feet in the basement. Certain appraisals, now it was a finished basement, okay? But when I bought it, it wasn't finished. The basement was not finished at all. I went down there. Not only the basement wasn't finished, I put a bathroom down there and a kitchenette, right? With cabinets and all that shit. It had two bedrooms and a bathroom downstairs that I built, that I put down there. I had a big ass washroom and everything, right? So I finished the basement, got the house ready to be sold, got the review appraisal, and this white man said my shit was worth $93,000. Now I'm in the bitch 97. So I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? $93,000, right? He said, well, yeah, this is below grade because he went and found some weird obscure rule, right? So I shouldn't have did this because Dominique, the buyer, told me not to do it. But I called him. I said, brother, I tried to talk to name Rick Church, racist, redneck motherfucker. Soon as he heard my voice, I guess he knew I was black. And that motherfucker started, I don't care if you don't say, I don't really give a damn. That's how he was talking. Racist, redneck cracker. So me and him, I said, man, what is this, man? What are you doing, man? Why are you trying to say? First of all, why you got an attitude? Me and him got in a little shouting match. I hung the phone up. I'm screaming, mad and shit, ready to just go off, right? So the deal fell through. I basically had another buyer. I found a buyer. Now, this was 2 weeks before foreclosure. They had my shit in the newspaper because I ain't have no more money. This was my second house. I had ran out of money, all that shit, right? So I'm like right about to be sold on the courthouse steps, and sold that bitch and made $55,000. $55,000, right? Second house. Now after that thing, this was like near the end of 2005. So I actually 2006 I had another deal I jumped into and made $100,000 in 4 hours. In that year I made $600,000. Right now, that year that was my best year ever. But guys, how did I ran into a racist cracker who really didn't want to fuck with me because he knew I was black. He called a couple of realtors because I found out later. He called some realtors who were racist, and they said, yeah, these black guys are coming into the neighborhood because there's a bunch of historic old houses in a neighborhood in Montgomery called Old Cloverdale, and there's another neighborhood called the Garden District. These areas, you could buy a house, turn around and sell a house for $400,000-$500,000 back, especially back before the housing bubble, right? And so you could get a house over there for like 25, 26,000. It might be old, rotten and shit, but you might spend 75, 100, but the bitch gonna be worth damn near 250 easy, right? Minimum. You're gonna double your money. And so I was over there trying to jump on this. And this house, I bought it for 27, but shit, I thought I was gonna be in it for about 70 and be able to sell it for 120 and be happy with that. But nonetheless, I still made $50,000 on the house. 55,000. At the time, this is the most I had ever made up until about, a couple of months later when I did that 4-hour deal. But the point I'm trying to make, I ran into a racist white guy who tried to stop me, but he didn't. He wasn't able to successfully stop me. He just wasn't able to stop me. Did he try? Yes. There are racist white people that will try to stop you. They are out there. I have ran into racist appraisers that tried, and guys, I had to shop the appraiser when I had my other homeboy that bought it from me. The buyer, he lived in the house. He wasn't even trying to be a flipper. He just was trying to buy it. He bought it for $150,000. What happened, he messed around. He bought the house, and I had another dude that basically I had found an appraiser. I had two appraisers I talked to. Each one of them was talking about that below grade shit and was talking about it's only 20 cents on the dollar for the basement, even though it's finished. I'm like, man, I dumped all this money into the basement. You telling me that this doesn't even count? No, it doesn't count because it's a basement, so it can't count. Get the fuck out of here. I was so mad. Then I found a guy, white guy. So what I did was when he pulled up, I gave him, now this is a white dude. This dude, how people full of shit when they talking about you can't get out here and make money. I had a white guy from way out in the east side of town. I rode out to his, hey, how you doing? I played it, dressed up in a suit. I played the game, right? I dressed up in my suit. I rode my ass out down the other side of town, and I gave him the copy of the first appraisal that was a reviewed appraisal. So when he shows up, I said, yeah, this is the appraisal right here, man. You know, I already had it. But this was when I had this appraisal done myself. I lied. I had this appraisal done myself. You know, I just want to make sure that, man, everybody but came back and appraised my shit for $175,000. So needless to say, the contract was valid. You know what I'm saying? The contract, thanks, Doug. The contract was valid. We closed, and the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want y'all to see that that's what he said, right? Now, I made 55,000, and then within a month, I had made, we're actually within, I say within 4 months from that closing, I probably had made about $300,000. Yeah, about $300,000. That's how much I had made 4 months after I closed that property. Closed that property around Christmas, and literally by April, I had made almost $300,000, because I made that $100,000 around January. Actually, January 2nd, something like that, 3rd, and then after that, shit, I was out of control. And then that lender that I went through, company that's now defunct, called Investwell, basically was letting me do up to 5 and 6 houses at a time. So I had money. I was rolling. I had 3 and 4 houses going at a time. I had a crew, all that shit. 2006 was a beautiful year, guys, for me. Now, why am I saying that? I'm gonna keep going. So he says, if it is, he says, I hate to sound like Yvette Carnell, but governments do pick a lot of winners and losers. Now, you hate to sound like it, but governments don't necessarily pick a lot of winners and losers, guys. Governments don't create prosperity. I know people believe that shit. What creates prosperity is basically capitalists, people out here that are taking businesses and going out here and doing what they're doing. Governments come and take shit. Now, they may put up certain incentives, but if the company doesn't come and do what the company does first, there will be no money for the government to take to set up some damn incentives. Guys, I believe the very fundamental function of government should be to get the fuck out of our way. The reason education costs like it does right now is because government came in and tried to help. And so colleges got a taste of government borrowed money from people. And now the student loan program is destroying education, especially for black people, because now you're going to colleges coming out of debt with $100,000 6-figure student loan debt with a psychology degree. This is where the government tried to come in and help people. When Ron Paul was in, he said when he graduated, Ron Paul, who was running for president some years ago, he said, when I graduated high school, I was able to get a job at a fast food joint and work my way through school. And basically, I paid my own way through medical school as well, because they didn't have a student loan program. So colleges actually had to, you know, give you a viable product that was worth your money, number one. Number two, they had to actually work with you on the price. This shit is ridiculous now. One student going to a university, you're looking at $70,000. What the fuck do you need with $70,000 for 4 years of education? That's cheap. That's cheap, dog. $12,000, $15,000 a semester is cheap for education. I mean, a year. That's $8,000 a semester. That's dirt cheap, which is ridiculous. Education shouldn't cost more than a fucking Honda, man. $30,000 tops. Tops. That's what that shit should cost. But it doesn't, because government has gotten involved in trying to, quote unquote, even the playing field. And now they did it. They did the complete opposite. Universities costs have spiked straight up, guys. I seen a chart comparing education to healthcare. We bitched about healthcare and made the Obamacare and all that shit. See, nobody want to hear this shit. We bitched about it, right? But see, they're never going to talk about education costs and how these universities are greedy, right? You know why? Because the universities are liberal. These are where the professors are, and this is where the liberals are. So they're not going to say shit. That's why you don't hear nobody bitching about it. Don't nobody ever talk about that shit, because that's what the universities have, their professors and shit like that. So nobody says anything. Meanwhile, black people are shut out of education in a real sense, because now You thinking, shit, do I want to go to school? I ain't got no damn 4.0 GPA. So if I'm going to go to school, I'm going to have to get into debt. I don't probably want to go to school. Right? So even though and I don't think education is the end all be all, but what I'm saying is, if you even want to try to get an education, you can't. Because a lot of times what happened, they put a obstacle in your way called the price of education, which came from government programs trying to help people. So keep that in mind when this brother says what he says. Government picks winners and losers. Actually, I agree. They did. They picked the loser, and the loser is the black community when they tried to help you with your education. That's number one. When the government came with the National Education Association, NEA, right? I actually think we actually tested better before the NEA came into fruition. Now you got the NEA, which is really just a big ass teachers union that looks out for the teachers. I've seen meetings where teachers would get on the stage and say some shit like, it's about the teachers first. That's what they say. I've seen people say, I'm not a bad teacher and you can't prove it. I've seen teachers say that shit. Right? So when I hear these people talking like this is motherfuckers that don't want to spit the Willie Lynch chip out, basically, in a nutshell. He said, you mentioned farmers, yet our government is responsible for 1/3 of all U.S. farm income. Let me say this right here. The government ain't got no fucking business in this shit. I think what's happened is the government came in and used and did a lot of shit to fuck black people over. A lot of shit happened through the government facilitating it, to be completely honest with you. This is what happened. The government facilitated a lot of the fuckery. This is documented. They had to sue the government, the damn Department of Agriculture. They had to sue all them motherfuckers because they was shitting on black people. The government was, right? I don't know why black people want to use the government. The government is not our fucking friend. When are we going to ever accept the fact the government is not our friend? Okay? That's just true. The government is not our friends, man. You know what I'm saying? So I say, are you literally saying up here saying that government has to save us or it's hopeless? This is why Invent Atone are being destroyed. Most people in America aren't millionaires. So yes, we are trying to become millionaires, then billionaires. And it's mentalities like that which cause us to fall behind. I knew that video would trigger people. The video I did. I knew this video would trigger people to lose with a loser's mentality. I have been a stone's throw away from being a millionaire before. Guess what? Government had less to do with it than my own money management skills and personal finance, which is true. Guys, I made $600,000. I was a fool. I tried to help half the hood. Not half the hood, but I had niggas I grew up with working with me. I done told y'all about it. Motherfuckers that won't even speak to me right now. Half of them. When they see me, they act like they don't even want to halfway open their mouth to say hello. And I was paying their $600, $700 a week to do nothing, but just run the lows once or twice a day. The rest of the day, we sitting at Hooters drinking and shit, and I'm still paying them niggas like they on the clock. See what I'm saying? This is the shit that was going on. Let me see what else. Speak on something you know and not a lifestyle you aren't even focused on obtaining. That's the same mentality Dave was talking with that stupid female from California. Not that you are stupid, of course, but she was profoundly ignorant, which she was. I said, you literally said, don't try to be a millionaire because there are billionaires becoming trillionaires who will stop you and bully you around. Somehow, I don't think millionaires have problems living a comfortable lifestyle and being titans of industry in their own right. Guys, let me tell you something about being a millionaire. That shit is not as fucking difficult as you think it is, number one. Number two, more millionaires today, it was like 95% of millionaires in America, 95% of y'all just heard the statistic. 95% of millionaires in America today didn't inherit their money, and they're first generation. I think it's 85% are just literally 85, 90% of them are first generation. So he's talking about families, but 85, 90% of millionaires in America today are millionaires. African immigrants and immigrants from within the Caribbean and African immigrants actually have a higher net worth than whites in America. So people with black skin, big noses, fat asses, and woolly hair come to America and have a better statistical chance of being a millionaire in America than white people do. So Help me with that. How is that possible? Huh? I'm sorry. I will not. You will not. Nobody will tell me that what I'm saying is wrong. And then, like, of course, he came back. He said, Sub-Zero 3639. So in your situation, you said the government had nothing to do with your fall. But at the same time, the government bailed out banks instead of actually, guys, let me say something. The government in the 90s under Bill Clinton created the fucking bubble. If we really want to just go there for a second. Hard money had existed a long time, since the 80s. I was working with hard money lenders. The housing bubble happened because of government intervention. He'll say greed. It's just like I said, it's a scarcity abundance mentality. I'll never get through to people like this. He's a glass half empty type guy. So I'll never be able to, we'll never meet. We never, and I understand this. I've been on this earth long enough to know that the housing crisis stole a lot of wealth from the black community. Some of it was yours. Guys, I'm gonna say this about the housing crisis. Let's say he's telling the truth. They stole wealth from every fucking body, not just the black community. Everybody was bit. White millionaires, everybody was bit by the housing bubble. A lot of people lost money. And so, yeah, he believes people stole wealth. Let me tell you what happened. A lot of people shorted the market and got a lot of money out of the stock market. That's number one. But the housing prices dropped and it was an ecosystem. Had I managed my money right and not spent all my fucking cash, right? Having made $600,000, had I just managed my money and had a lot of cash reserves sitting on the side, when shit fell apart, right? Guys, I got 2 houses foreclosed on in the housing bubble. That shit wasn't even on my credit. Can I get a witness? Come on, say amen. I didn't have, that shit was not even on my credit. So I could have came, if I'd have had 250,000. You know how much money, guys, let me tell you something. I could have walked in the bank. They was asking for 20-25% down. I could have borrowed $1 million. I could have bought $1 million worth of houses in Atlanta that right now would probably be worth $5 million. If I had managed my money right, even while he see shit half empty, I see it half full. Even though the housing bubble happened, had I managed my money right, I would have been straight. Money management. And it was also naive, being young. My dad, God rest his soul, told me before he died, he got sick with cancer. And he told me, he said, son, I done lived through a lot of ups and downs in the market. Save your cash. I was stupid. I'm flying to London. I'm flying to Brazil. I'm taking my homeboys. We down in Miami going to the Dwayne Wade birthday party. I'm walking up in the mall buying shit without even looking at the price tag because I got it like that. I'm a baller. I'm seeing Gary Payton at a party offering to buy him a, man, what you drinking, homie? What you? That's what I'm doing. I'm buying bottles and shit and doing dumb shit because I ain't never had no money. See, I'm gonna go and tell the truth. That shit, guys, let me tell you something. Me being broke, going broke after the housing bubble was more about my money management than it was about the housing bubble itself. Had I saved my cash reserves when the shit went down, I would have been straight. Another mistake I made, I lived off the fucking flip money, which was stupid. I was living off flip money. Come on, say amen. I was living off flip money, which is stupid. You don't do that. You don't live off flip money. You get you some regular income, whatever. If it's a business, then it's a business. It doesn't have to be a job, but you need to have money coming in consistently, and that's what you spend. You do not touch the flip money. This is why the guy Charles, what's his name, out of Baltimore, out of DC, he was at the Black Enterprise Conference. That brother who I met, I listened to him talking. I soaked up the game, and I put that video on my channel. I got 100 views on the motherfucker. Don't nobody want to see shit like that. That brother was spitting some hot fire. And he said it. He said, when I sold my houses, the reason he on the stage and I'm sitting my ass out there listening to him talk was because when he said, when I flipped my first house, I didn't touch it. I took that money and I went and did this. And I went and he said, I started buying apartments. I probably could have bought some apartments, but I was fucked up because I was spending money doing dumb shit. Buying clothes. And I'm down in Miami buying $200 and $300 shirts and shit like that. And buying shoes and shit, like doing shit that I couldn't dare wear. When Ed Hardy, before it had even come out and before everybody knew about it, I was buying Ed Hardy shit. paying $250 for a hat. Dumb shit like that. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell the truth. That's why I was broke. When I got broke, guys, when my company club shut down, all my money was spent, I regretted. I remember the money I had. And then other opportunities arose where I remember one Christmas, I was thinking about getting a kiosk in the mall. In Montgomery, it was only $4,000 for that month of December. I could have got a kiosk in the mall, put some purses at the kiosk, and I probably could have made, I know I worked at a kiosk. I was working for somebody in a kiosk. This was like summer 2009. No, Christmas 2009. This white lady made $70,000 in the month of December selling hats and scarves for $10 and then $20 for two. No, it was $8 and, well, no, wait a minute. No, it was $12 and $20 for two. She's buying them damn things for $3 a piece out of China. White lady, I worked right next to her and sat there and watched that lady all day. Matching hats and scarves, some old cheap shit from China. White lady made a killing. I sat right there and watched her. $70,000 in a month. I was like, damn, every day. And that white lady would talk to the lady I was working with and tell her business. I sat there and I said, damn, all I needed to get that purse shit going was probably about $5,000, $6,000. I would have came up. I would have came up with that shit because I would have bought the purses. I would have sat there and it'd have been my shit. And I had the idea and couldn't do it because I ain't had the money because I spent all my fucking money. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you say. A lack of financial literacy has harmed us all. That's right. I'm gonna tell the truth about my losses, Ty. I'm gonna tell the truth. I fucked up. Black people, 9 times out of 10, when you in a situation, you fucked up. You fucked up. If you in a situation, your ass went, did you go to school? Yep. What was your GPA? Man, I only had about a 2.6. You fucked up. You fucked up. If you get out of school with a 4.0 GPA, you have options, don't you? That means I was lazy, chasing ass and basketball. I'm gonna tell the truth. This is where I fucked up. Chasing girls and basketball. That's what I did in high school. That's all I cared about. I ain't give a fuck about. I would do my reports the night before. I was so lazy, guys. If I had to turn some shit in about 5th period, I would come to school with nothing, get in the class, and won't talk and won't do shit in my other class and ignore and just write my paper. By the time 5th period come, I just turn it in. I would literally wait, damn the night before. I would wait till the day of and write my shit, turn it in, get a C- and be happy. That was me. So I got out of high school with a 1.9 GPA. That I fucked up. And then people want to talk about racism, white supremacy. Now let's see what this brother said. Oh shit, he wrote a dissertation. He says, do you believe that government is our only hope? Do I believe that government is our only hope? No. Black people have to come together and do business, support one another, all while extracting some dollars from other ethnic groups at the same time. Is that doable? Absolutely. But unlikely because Black people in America are the most disjointed group in history of human civilization. I really don't too particularly disagree with that, but I will say this. The come together bullshit ain't gonna work. It doesn't take us coming together. Let me tell you what we fuck up at. We really don't go too deep. We're lazy. Let me tell you why. We'll say some shit like Black people need to come together, right? I disagree. I think Black people aren't gonna come together. Number one. I don't think we have to come together to win. I'm gonna tell you why. If a Black person, first of all, let's look at the white community. How is the white community structured? All we see is white people, and we think they all just, yeah, man, we family. No, it don't work like that. White people be about to kill each other. I've been in boardrooms with white folks at each other's throats. Okay, I've seen white people that will kill each other. Okay, they don't give a fuck about each other like that. What white people do, this is where we need to. This some shit. This is all we need to do. White people have a vanguard group or a group of what do you call it? I don't know. They're best and brightest. They're producers, right? And because their producers have resources within their community, they're able to produce and provide. What happens is the other white people who don't have shit to do with this will come in and work for these people. That's all it is. So in the Black community, the way this would work for us is for us to produce, like, for example, if I produce a IT company that trains people, right? And my IT company hires a bunch of black students who are able to train people in different disciplines, in different fields, right? And it grows to where it's damn on the NASDAQ and I do an IPO, right? And 75% of my company is black because there's students who I trained. Those people that come into that shit, like right now, my students probably fuck with me hard because they see I'm doing this shit and they ain't give me but $400. But eventually, it's gonna get to a point where people just gonna work because it's a company. I don't think white people go work for Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook because he's a small hat. Or no, them Asians, whites, whoever goes there, they work because it's a good company to work for. They want to work there. They want that company on their resume. That is the mentality that you must have as a black businessman or woman. You have to have the mindset that I'm trying to get money and I'm going to give you an excellent product, regardless of anything that I may feel, because I think a lot of times black people feel like, man, he got to fuck with me because I'm black. No, will I fuck with you because you black? Yeah, everybody ain't like me. And there's no way every black person is going to have this kumbaya, every black person's you black, so I'm gonna fuck with you mentality. You need to produce excellent products, which is what white people do. This is shit we don't want to talk about. White people are productive. We're not. So we can't talk about what the fuck black people can or can't do because we're not productive. And I can prove it. Human capital. Human capital. What is human capital? Do we have the human capital? Guys, you spend 30 minutes a night on your homework. So you're not like, you can't get into Silicon Valley and you'll say it's racism when it's not. You don't have the math background to get into Silicon Valley. What I mean by that is you don't have to know math to come fuck with me at my course. I got students making $55 an hour that never took math. And never took any high maths or none of that shit. Come fuck with me. Sub03639@gmail.com. You do not want to work. You don't want to put the work in and you call it racism. Until we're able to put the work in, we can't identify what's racism and what's not. Because motherfuckers want to win. If you the best, they will give you a fucking job. I'm telling you now because I have trained students who are out here beating out motherfuckers that been doing this shit for 5 and 6 years, and they getting beat out by students who I trained in 3 months. So what does that tell you? If you know what to do, you can get a job. If you know the skills, you can get a job. Motherfuckers want to win in business. If you show them that you're competent as a developer, if you show them that you're competent as a database administrator, developer, or whatever, they will give you 6 figures a year. And now it gets and boils down to money management. Are you going to go buy a $40,000 car? Are you going to go and get a $2,500 a month apartment because you can't afford that shit? See, this is the shit that really where the rubber meets the road. Guys, guess who invests the most in their 401ks by race? Asians, whites, Hispanics, and guess who's at the bottom? Black folks. So when you do make it to corporate America, when you do get there, you don't manage your fucking money right. You like, well, man, white man, right? Yeah, white motherfuckers is invested in their 401ks. That's why they become millionaires a lot easier than we do. You know what I'm saying? I talked to my homeboy. He's a financial advisor. He's the one going to help me set up my stuff for my son. He told me, he said, man, my daughter put $700 a month in her damn 401k. And not 401k. $700 a month in mutual funds that he set up for her when she was a child. He said when she turned 18, he rolled it over. He trained her about finances. And now he said she's going to be a millionaire probably by the time she's 30, 33, 34. She's going to be a multi-millionaire. She's going to be a millionaire. And by the time she's 40, she's going to be a multi-millionaire because she's going real aggressive. She's put her shit in some aggressive shit that's pulling 20% sometimes, 20, 22%. That's what she's pulling per year off of her nest egg sometimes. In the last 6, 7 years have been fantastic for her, he said. She graduated. She's 27. This is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I'm going to tell you something. You can make it. And it doesn't take all black people coming together with some shit that's pie in the sky that will never happen. When we get together, whenever you have black people getting together, man, we got to work together. Not a fuck we don't. We need a Henry Ford. We need a John Rockefeller to create. We need a Westinghouse. We need a, dare I say, Nikola Tesla. We need a, and they were snuffed out under Jim Crow. This is where I do agree with the brother. They were snuffed out. We had people like that. C.R. Patterson, who was bought up by Ford. That brother was a genius. He just didn't have the resources, and they snuffed out our damn bank and shit like that. This is why I'm for reparations. See, that's why I say I don't disagree with the brother. They owe us for the shit. We would already be ahead. We would already have our John Rockefellers and Andrew Carnegies and Henry Fords and shit like that. But you kept them, you stumped them out. Whenever they would try to get a certain level, you stumped them out. So I agree, we do need reparations for that shit. But today, what's to stop you from being that John Ford? Whatever his name is. What's to stop you from being Andrew Carnegie? What's to stop you from being Cornelius Vanderbilt? What's to stop you from being John Rockefeller? Right? I talked yesterday. I said, man, black people get car settlements and blow the motherfucker. You got kids in the car. Each child will get $15,000, $20,000. You will get the money and blow it. I've seen this shit before. I had a nigga ask me when my car got hit a couple of weeks ago. I had a nigga ask me. He said because he was talking, he heard us talking, and the guy was telling me about which lawyer to go with and all that. This nigga said, "Man, yeah, man, my baby mama, man, had gave my daughter money to the lawyer. They holding it in escrow, but you know it's $52,000, man. We want. I mean, how can I get my hands on? How can we get our hands?" And I'm sitting like, this weed smoking dusty ass nigga don't need to get his hands. Number one, he don't need to get his hands on. Number two, $52,000. You gave it to a fucking lawyer to hold till she 18. $50,000, dude. Do you know how much interest? Let me look that shit up right quick. I didn't even. He said $52,000, and let's say she 5. Let's just say she 5, and let's go with what happened till she 30. Let's look at it. Not even putting. We gonna put no money in. 10%. Let's go. $629,000, $26,000 in 25 years. You know what I'm saying? So, needless to say, if I go up another 5, she probably a millionaire. Let's see. On the dot. I'm getting used to this shit. By 35, she a millionaire on the dot. $1,031,545 at 10% per year. Now, that's if she on some basic shit. Now, if she go with what my boy was talking yesterday, he was talking about you. He said, man, he could probably get more than 10%, but you know, that's the modest, safe investment. But he said, if you go aggressive, and young people should go aggressive, he said that. Then let's take the percentage up. Let's just go 13. What we looking at? We're finna be in some ridiculous numbers now. $2.8 million by the time she's 36 with $52,000. See what I'm saying? That right there, guys, if you create a trust fund for your child and drop $2,000 or $3,000 in it, I did this shit yesterday. If you just drop $2,000 or $3,000, and I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen for y'all right quick. If you drop $2,000 or $3,000, right? Here we go right here. Let's do $3,000. Make it aggressive. It's $3,000, right? And let's say you drop $25 a month, which ain't shit, but let's say you do that. It's $250,000 by the time they're 35 years old. See what I'm saying? Yeah, well, damn, that's a long time. Not the fuck it ain't. 35 ain't nothing. And I'm gonna tell you something, guys. If you take this number up 10 more years, they probably a millionaire. Let's see. Damn, I was right up on it. 46. They're a millionaire by 46, man. See what I'm saying? So we gotta think differently as a people. I think that's the thing. You thinking now with this, what I just showed y'all, right? What makes you think? Now, first of all, I'm not gonna drop $25 a month. That's only $300 a year. That ain't shit. You know, so I could probably righteously put $1,000 in a year. What's that? Let's say $80. I could probably easily. I'm talking about if you're making $35, $40, $40,000, you can do this. You can do $80 a month. $2 million. And they'll be a millionaire by the time they are 36. See what I'm saying? It's time out for the excuses, excuse making. That's what I see a lot of with us, man. I see a lot of excuse making. You know what I'm saying? You can become that John Rockefeller. Guys, let me tell you something about John Rockefeller. Nelson Rockefeller, David Rockefeller. Let me tell you something what they probably would say about John. John set them up, and by the time they got up, John, because they say he lived to be 100 years old, John Rockefeller did. John Rockefeller was a multi-billion, you know, would be, if he was alive today, would probably be the richest man in the world, because he would literally own the majority share of Verizon, the majority share of AT&T, the majority share of damn near, you name it, a bunch of companies. GE, he would own that would be JP Morgan. Who's GE? Yeah. So he would own a majority share of a lot of fucking companies, right? Because they broke him up and made him a conglomerate. So he owned a lot of Montbell and all that shit. So he would have owned Lucent Technology. He would have probably would have owned MCI, Sprint. He'd have owned all that shit. MCI is Verizon. So the point I'm trying to make is, are your grandkids gonna know who the fuck you are? All you got to do to ensure that, guys, is to raise your children right. Tell them, look, I'm gonna put X amount of thousands of dollars in this account, and I'm gonna keep dropping money in there every month. And when you turn 40, you can pull 10% out. When you turn 50, you can pull 10% out. But right now, I got X amount of dollars. I got, let's say, I don't know, $7,000 I'm gonna start with, and I'm gonna drop, on average, I'm gonna average $80 a month. Some months I'm gonna drop $250, $300, but at a minimum, I'm gonna drop $80. That's $20 a week. That's eating out once a week. That ain't shit. $20 actually you're looking at about $150 eating out once a week. Real talk. But let's say $100. You're gonna put $100 in a month on average, starting off with $7,000. By the time that child is 46, you have $3 million, $3.2 million. Right? Now, what did you do? Did you go out and slay a dragon? Did you go out and fight the Rothschilds or some shit to get that little $3 million, which ain't shit now? $3 million ain't nothing. $3 million it's a drop in the fucking bucket. It is. Man, by the time somebody told me, by the time that come around, $3 million ain't gonna be shit. Somebody told me that shit in 1995. They said by the year 2020, $1 million ain't gonna be shit. Shit. Okay. I'd rather start than wait. Thanks, Naima. Of course, it's Dave Ramsey's calculator. Of course. I'm hold on. I'm gonna put the link to the calculator right here so you guys can see what the fuck I'm talking about. This is the link to the calculator right here. So now you guys got the calculator. You can click on it yourself and play with it, man. Play with it, because it will force you to start saying, damn, I just need to get started. Because guess what? When you see a nest egg grow, you're gonna have, guys, since the stock market crashed in 2008 and all that shit happened with the bubble and all that shit, guys, we've been having double-digit growth in people's mutual funds and shit, and they stock portfolios and shit. Double digit, 20, 25 in some instances. People been pulling 25% per year in certain instances, depending on what you got. And you got a sister I met that trades the stock market. She said she made $35,000 a day. She was at Erica Williams' event Saturday. Is the white man gonna stop her from doing what she do? Because she got to be a multimillionaire making that kind of money. Did the white man stop her? Now she charged $5,000 for a training, but still, did the white man stop her? Huh? So let me keep reading. I graduated with a degree in finance and worked briefly as a financial advisor, not an expert, but I know a little something about money management. Okay. Well, but guys, let me tell you something. Tell you some real shit. There's a company called Ronald Blue and Company, right? I think it's a faith-based Larry Burkett style financial management company, right? So when 9/11 happened, about a month or two later after it happened, there's this guy I was around. So I used to have a mobile car wash, right? So I used to be around his house. I would do his cars and shit like that. I asked him in 2001. Now the stock market was at like $6,000, $6,000. Okay. Now the stock market today is what, 30, around 30,000 somewhere. I hadn't even been on. What's the NASDAQ today? Let me see. NASDAQ. Let's see what it is right now. Okay, NASDAQ is 9,002 something. I know. I'm talking about the stock market. What's the damn? What is it? Dow Jones. That's what I meant. The Dow. What is the Dow Jones right now? What's the Dow? What is the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now? 28,859 right now. Literally right now, as I'm sitting here. The last time it closed yesterday at 28,000. Now the Dow was down to 5,000. Okay. I asked him. Now this is a guy with all these finance degrees and all this shit. You know what he told me? I wouldn't invest in the market right now. It's too volatile. I said, no, I'm trying to go long, man. I don't really, And we got in a big, long, hour-long discussion. And he telling me I didn't know nothing about finance because he went to school for it. And I don't give a fuck where you been. I don't give a shit. And I ain't say it like that. But I was like, man, I don't care about you. Got no degree in no damn finance. That don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean that you can't go long in the market. Now, the market was 5,000. Had I jumped in back then, where would I be today if I'd have dropped $1,000 in back then when it was 5,000? See what I'm saying? That shit would be worth way more than what it is now. See what I'm saying? Because literally, about a year later, it was at like 12 again, back around 2000. I'm talking about, this was in 2001. It was around 12. Had I just went hard and aggressive with $1,000, ain't no telling what the fuck. I probably have me about 25, 30,000 off that $1,000 investment. And then I started flipping houses, so I probably would have dropped some more money in there. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't, because at that time I was struggling. I had a mobile car wash, I had no money. I was still trying to graduate college and shit like that. So me and him got into it. I didn't invest. I was intending to, and I was trying to ask somebody that had some real financial advice, but they didn't know. Guys, let me tell you something. Just because you have an educational background in finance, just because you got a degree in finance and you worked as a financial advisor, doesn't mean that not all financial advisors are created equal. Obviously, if you don't do it no more, that means you probably weren't too good at it. I know people that were financial advisors. I know financial advisors, and I know stockbrokers. I know people that, my brother was a stockbroker. I know a guy who started off as a stockbroker. This dude's worth hundreds of millions of dollars right now. He got his own hedge fund, making hella money. Dude probably worth $300-400 million, live right here in Atlanta, named Daryl. That's the guy who I made the video about about a couple of months ago. And I said there was a guy who we was washing his car, and I said he asked me to be his apprentice. And my dumb ass wanted to play basketball so bad that I said, no, man, I'm good. Dude had just made $12 million the year prior in 1995. And he asked me, I think it was 96. No, I think he made it in 94, and it was 95. And he asked me, did I want to be his apprentice? And I said no, because I wanted to play basketball. Like I'm going to the fucking NBA or some shit. And you got a dude that's made $12 million asking me to be his apprentice. That's some shit I regret. See, I'll tell the truth. So just because you got a degree, I went to Tuskegee with people that got finance degrees. That don't mean shit. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, he says a lot of what Dave Ramsey says is true, but with a motive to try and get people to sign up for Financial Peace University classes. Not hating on him at all, but that's his angle. So I don't give a fuck about Dave Ramsey trying to sign people. People need that education. People need to go to Financial Peace University. They need the education. They need the money. They need to. You got people that's doing dumb shit with their money. So yeah, I don't have no problem with FPU. I don't have no problem. So what? Dave Ramsey trying to make money. They should have left that one out. Losers mentality. Fuck no. Just because I might not come off as optimistic as you does not mean I'm not optimistic at all. You see the glass half full. I see it as half full, but acknowledge the emptiness as well. I see it half full, but I see it half empty too. That's what the fuck you just said. That shit funny. That's funny right now. Now that was some wordplay for your ass. He need to be a rapper with that one. That nigga say, I see the glass half full just like you do, but I see the emptiness as well. No, nigga, you a pessimist then. If you see, oh my God. Oh man, let me keep going. Last part, I'm not even gonna keep doing what you're doing, big brother. I love your spirit. I wish I had a few more people around me with your empowerment mindset. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm gonna say this. Shout out to the brother, Andre Brown. I respect the brother. I do think he has some pessimistic mentality in certain shit he says. That's him. Hey, shout out, mad love to you, bro. Let me say this, man. Damn, I just said shout out to you. Damn, you going in on me. No, I had to read that shit because you said you came in the comment section and made a comment. That shit was funny. That brother said, what you say? You say, I see it half full, but then I see the emptiness. You know I had to get your ass. Oh, man. I learned a lot about finance when I was a janitor at the library. I went back to school and got it. Hey, man, more power to you. That's academic excellence. More power to you, brother. Email me. I'll let you jump on here. Shit, if you want to talk. Email me. Shit, I ain't scared. We could talk. But this is the point that I'm trying to make about the whole situation. Black people economically have been fucked over by the government. We are owed and entitled to reparations. I said in my video yesterday, you are a victim of racism, white supremacy. Don't let nobody shame you for telling the truth about the fact that they did what the fuck they did. If they didn't do my granddad like they did him, if they didn't try to burn down in 1919, 101 years ago, try to burn down and try to destroy a lot of shit in the black community back then, black people would be so much further along today. The Red Summer of 1919, they didn't destroy the Freedmen's Bank and rob it like they did, and didn't compensate, and took $100 and some million of ex-slaves who literally was in chain 10 years prior, and they went and robbed that shit, then we would probably be much further along, because that shit today would be worth trillions. That's the wealth we missing. That 100 million that they took, that's trillions today of dollars that they took. So I'll be the first to say that they owe IS reparations. I don't disagree with that. But to say that we should not try because people, okay, Andre, okay. And this is respect. No disrespect. No disrespect. I said that in the beginning. But I think where people have to understand, I think we need to try, man, to say, don't start a business. Don't worry about being a millionaire, because there are people that are billionaires like the Rothschilds and trillionaires or whatever. I think that is bad for us to hear, because I think what happens is it puts us in a position of damn near making it seem insurmountable for us to even try. I think we should get out. I think you should go try to do businesses. I think you should go try to make as much money as you can. I don't think we're all going to be able to come together and work together. We're not going to be able to work together, because if I think, and I'm going to tell you something, if I'm a black man, I'm a black businessman, we're not going to, it's only a certain amount of people I'm able to work up and team up with. It just is. Everybody can't work together. In fact, we don't need to. I don't think Andrew Carnegie needed. In fact, Carnegie was going back and forth with Rockefeller, because Rockefeller got his mentor bankrupt. He destroyed him financially. Rockefeller did. And it pissed off Andrew Carnegie, and they were kind of like rivals. They wasn't even boys like that. They knew each other, but they were rivals. So I think when it comes down to it, Rockefeller and Carnegie wasn't the best of friends, but they don't need each other. I don't think the black community needs unity like we talk. I think, do we need some unity? Of course. I mean, we do need some, but I don't think that's an issue. I think we just need black excellence. And I think in the midst of this black excellence, what will happen is wealth will be generated and created. Where's the black Steve Jobs? Show me one person. I mean, we got one or two. Lonnie Johnson from the brother that invented the Super Soaker, but he's older. Where's our Steve Jobs? Where's our guy that has that type of spirit and mentality? Even the guy Marcus Brownlee, who has the YouTube channel. Shout out to the brother. I respect him. Smart, brilliant brother. His story has yet to be written, but I'm gonna say this. He talks about technology that other people have created. He doesn't create technology. Don't strive to be like Marcus Brownlee. Strive to be like the founders of YouTube. Strive to be like the founders of Google. Strive to be like the founders and create and bring some sort of innovation to the market and change the scenario for your people. That's what you do. We need to be more mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? We need to come into a situation with hope and thinking, look, man, I need hope. What we don't need is to believe that shit, it is hopeless. If you believe that, it's a done daughter for black folks. It can't be hopeless. It can never be hopeless. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. I don't give a fuck who got what. I don't give a fuck who is where, doing what. It can never be hopeless for black people. If it is, it's over for us. Hope has to be there. Hope has to flourish in our community, or we are done for. What's up, mister? You know what I'm saying? That's that. We need several think tanks with money. Yeah. But guess what? How are we gonna fund them? With black people that are excellent, black Vanguard group individuals that can go out here and build, man. If you can't build, if you aren't building, guys, you part of the problem. At a minimum, click on this investment calculator. Guys, let me tell you something. You drop some money in a mutual fund and get you about 12% a year. Just drop $7,000 in there. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna say you're not even putting $100 in there. Calculate. You still, by the time you 47, starting at 5 years old, your daughter or son will be a millionaire by 47 years old. If you just put $7,000 in there and make it, $12,000, 12% is kind of aggressive, not really, but let's say you probably, you know what I'm saying? They can be a millionaire by the time they 47. That's only 42 years. Now, what if they just 2 years old? Or what if they 12? You ain't got to get a million, but shit. Let's say if he was 12. Let me take it up. So we're gonna go to 12 and I'm gonna run it. You still got $500,000 by the time, $457,000 by the time they 12 years, by the time they 47. That's 35 years. That's what that is. You see what I'm saying? Why not go for it, man? Why not take that opportunity, drop the money, and change the future of your kids? Will it always happen like this? No, because the market, something can happen catastrophic and destroy the market in America. It could. That's why you buy silver. That's why you buy cryptocurrencies. That's why you hedge your bets. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. You don't. That's why you got international mutual funds, not just national mutual funds, national mutual funds. If you got a child in the womb and you ain't dropping at least $400-500 in a growth stock mutual fund, you full of shit. You know what I'm saying? You full of shit. Don't be talking about black investment, black empowerment, and you not doing it. This type of empowerment is empowerment on cruise control, guys. Let me share my screen again. This is black economic empowerment on cruise control. You don't really have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? So let me give y'all this other screen over here. So, oops, what did I do? I took the wrong one over there. Sorry. Hold on. So let me take this over here. So, guys, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got a child in the womb, man. Come on, dog. Look at that. That's $2 million. $2 million by 47. 47 is not even old. That's not even 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? But guys, I'm just saying, I mean, and if you drop in, let's say on average $50 in your child, by the time they're 41, 1.5, 1.6, you know what I'm saying? That's if you never get some sort of large investment or injection of cash, which we all do. There's no time in life that black people can say they ain't never got a large investment of cash or injection of cash in their lives, man. Precious metal or Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. Okay. They just changed the law a couple of days ago on IRAs. They say you get an extra 2 years, it go up to 72 now instead of 70. At 70, they force you to pull your cash out, but now it's 72. That's probably gonna pay you. That might pay your taxes depending on if the size of it and with compounding interest. See what I'm saying? Because like right here, and the reason I'm saying it is okay. So you got $1 million right here, right? 1.16. Well, the next year you jump from 1.16 to 1.2. So you just pulled 100,000 right there. You got another year. You pulled another 200,000, 200 and some odd thousand. See what I'm saying? Then you jump right here. You pulling about what? Almost, yeah, roughly 200 right there. So you pulling about 200,000 right there. So just with an extra 3 years, you pulled a damn near $500,000. From here, you pulled 600,000. No, 500,000. You pulled $500,000 from here to here. That's beautiful. So compounding interest, if you're gonna pay taxes, you pull it out right here. Let's say you're gonna pay 50%. An extra 3 years, now you're getting 750 out of it. If they take half of it, then if you would have took, you can, yeah, you can buy 8. You actually probably get more than that. You might can get $1 million, depending on how you do it. You might can keep $1 million of that. Just an extra 3 years of compounding interest. See how quick that shit jump up? Now watch this. I love compound interest. That shit is the eighth wonder of the world. Look at that. 9 more years. Same shit. $50 a month. Let's take the $50 off. Look. That's roughly $3 million. You know what I'm saying? That's if you got a child in the womb. That's building wealth, man, without you having to think about it, bro. Without you, can you guys, the Dow right now is at 28,000. What if the Dow gets to $150,000, like 150,000? We can't even fathom that high, right? One day it might get that high. This shit might go up way higher than what you think it is. Guys, do you understand why Warren Buffett is Warren Buffett? How much did Warren Buffett start with? Start market, there we go. So how much did he start with? Began purchasing shares at $7.60 per share. In 1965, partnerships, I think he dropped like 100,000. I can't see. Let me see. 1961, Buffett makes his first $1 million investment in Windmill Manufacturing Company. How became the Oracle? How Warren Buffett became the Oracle of Omaha? When did he start in 1962? So he made some money and dropped it in the stocks in 62 and went long on the market. That's basically what happened. What's this question? How can I become a millionaire? Let's see. It's actually so easy to be a millionaire in America. You can almost ensure your kid will be a millionaire in America with just your damn tax returns. You do that shit 5 years and then just stop and don't touch it no more. And if at the end of 5 years, let's say you're up to $10,000 and you don't touch it no more, right? That child will be a millionaire by the time he is 39. Before he's 40, he'll be a millionaire. And by the time he's 50, which is just 10 years later, he'll be worth $4 million. It's easy to be a millionaire, but let me see what they say. No, I don't want any notifications. So develop a written financial plan. Save, save, save. See, what they talking about is the stock market. I'm not even a big stock market guy because to me, you could do real estate. I don't buy rental properties, but that's actually even better to me at first because rental properties, you could buy a rental property. Say you buy, like I had a quadruplex. I always talk about this. I had a quadruplex I was trying to buy one time for $115,000. It was renting out for $550 a side, a unit, and it was $2,200 a month pulling back, and it was only 115. Payments on that would have been about $650. And after I paid everything, I would have been probably pulling down management, maintenance, insurance, vacancy. I could have probably, yeah, that's the 50% rule. I would have probably been able to keep the other two sides and take two sides and pay everything off. One person had been in there for 12 years. The other person had been in there for 3. The other dude had been in there. One of them was vacant that he would let his daughter stay in from time to time. So you can make money, man. There's a million ways. Live below your means, save your money, lay off the credit. Don't be getting deep in credit debt. Invest in ways that work for you. The best investment is the best investment you understand. He says start your own business and get professional advice. Now, these ain't bad steps to be a millionaire. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. I think anybody in a Western world with enough dedication and focus can be a millionaire. I believe that shit. I don't think this is some rocket science to making it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, mutual funds is a long-term investment. At the end of the day, Black excellence and generating wealth starts with each one of us first. Open up let's see. So guys, like I said, I just wanted you guys to come on. I just wanted to come over here and talk about this. You know, you can righteously earn a lot of wealth doing mortgage rates. Let's see what mortgage rates are in Alabama. Not bad. Look at that. These are great numbers. This is my favorite. 15-year term. That's what I like. Refi, pretty about the same. But y'all see what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, get on out here and go for it, man. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't have what you can't have and what you can't get to where you want to be, man. You can. That's my main thing. 3 and 3.5. These interest rates are fantastic. The interest rate's been down for a minute. They have not risen since. No, I'm not a millionaire. Nope. I almost was one time, but I'm not a millionaire today, Mr. Jones. No. I feel like I can be one for this year up though. I always got that energy, that vibe, that I do. I just feel like I can be one. Oh, you just feel that way? Because no, I really believe that I have what it takes to be a millionaire. I believe I can change my family's tree. I believe I can break the generational curse in my family of all of us being broke, not having money, not having shit. You know what I'm saying? And even of those of us that are educated that are making six figures and still we ain't where we need to be and doing what we need to do. I see, I'm so close to it. I can taste that shit. I believe that um, the only thing that would stop me is my own personal spending habits, lack of discipline. That's it. I see so much opportunity. This shit ain't even funny. I know too many people. I rub shoulders with people that have made it. I I bathed my mind in this shit all day, every day. And as a man thinketh, so is he. Get what I'm saying? So I mentally, guys, what are you soaking into your energy? What are you soaking into your life force? Because that makes a hell of a difference as to where the trajectory of your life is going to lead you. If you soak up gain from people that have a defeatist mindset, then you will be defeated. If you soak up gain from people that believe that they can make it and accomplish their goals, then you will accomplish yours. But you got to first start by looking at yourself and doing a real observation of yourself and being honest about your spending. I guarantee you that 90% of the people that are on here can do better with their spending. I guarantee you most people have not written down a written budget. Most people have not went out here and got on a plan and try to live on 50% of their damn take home. If you really want to you really want to be an investor, you want to see some real shit, start dropping, let's just say shit, $700 a month, which is what people pay for cars and shit. Like, you know, the shit get ridiculous when you start talking like that. See what I'm saying? Now you talking about, and I'm not even gonna do this shit for a kid. Let's be realistic. Let's say 25. Still, you know what I'm saying? You got people that graduate college, right? And they keep a car note to the time they 70. Car note is just a constant bill because they change cars every 3 years. They leasing, they buying new cars, they upside down in the car, they want to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Damn near everybody I know. My son's mom, I I helped her because I told her she wanted to get another car. I said, nope, don't get one. She's like, why? And I told her why. I said, you're gonna take the debt on this car. They're gonna put it on top of the other car, and they're gonna put it on top of the other car, and you're gonna have $10,000 just sitting there. Every car you buy. So you buy a $35,000 car, you in it 45. You pull off the lot, it drops down to 25. You in it 45. You make payments 6 years, 5 years, 7 years, however long they finance this car, right? And you've been paying on it 3.5, 4 years. You go look at the value up. The car's worth 17. Shit, you still paying interest on it. So your loan is like 37. You owe 37 on a car that's worth 16, 7, $14,000. Now you got $20,000 to the real on a damn car. See what I'm saying? Because of bad spending habits. Don't mistake what I think as only pessimism. A lot of it is risk awareness, but I don't come to a conclusion that you can't because of it. Keep grinding and stay disciplined. Hey, more power to you, brother. I'm glad we can come to a resolution about it. I don't think you can't either. I think you should be when you approach the watering hole in the Serengeti, You need to be circumspect that there are alligators. You need to be circumspect that there is a crouching tiger that may be sitting in the bush. So you need to watch and be ready. If you're a black man or black woman in America, you need to understand that there are racist people that want to stop you. But I think gazelles flourish in the Serengeti. And I think black people can, we do flourish in America. I think we're the wealthiest people that have ever existed that are black on this planet. Ever. Nobody has enjoyed the quality of life that we as black people have in America. Ever. I think we need to understand that, because what'll happen is, in the long run, you won't be able to go back in time and change shit. But if we buy hard assets like land, businesses, shit like that, no matter what happens to the economy, if we own the land, if we own real resources, we own real. I don't give a fuck what happened. You're gonna still need an oil change. Right? So if you own an oil change company, the price of oil might shoot up. Oil change might shoot up, but motherfuckers still gonna have to come and get an oil change eventually. Motherfuckers still gonna have to come and get gas. Motherfuckers still gonna have to get a haircut. They're gonna still have to eat. They're gonna still have to do shit. And if you're in the middle of that, in some type of way, you can position yourself in the middle of that cycle, then you'll forever be able to make money. I don't give a fuck what happened to America. It could go away. But as long as there's land here, whatever is left of America, if you in that bitch and you own real resources, tangibles, you can, like you own, like Amazon is not a physical business. Most of Amazon is in the cyberspace, although they have a physical, stuff. They do have, trucks and shit. Like, they have a lot of capitalization in their business. But that being said, I think Amazon represents a company that's mostly based on the internet. And look at them. I mean, they're a beast. They're a juggernaut. eBay, juggernaut. These companies are major, majorly capitalized with resources and shit like that. And I think that we as black people can come out, start our own Shopify stores. Shout out to my homeboy Franchise. Franchise has his own Shopify store. He does. Franchise can make anywhere from 800 to 2,000 sometimes. I mean, I heard him make, he make good money sometimes he don't. 800 is an average. Like, that's average what he make a month on his Shopify store. He started the bitch about 4 or 5 months ago. Think about that. That's a lot of damn money. You know what I'm saying? For something that he just started. He started it with like $100. You can come up with, there are so many businesses that you can do on the internet nowadays with nothing. Just type it up on YouTube. How to start a business with no money. Watch how many people come up explaining to you ways how they did it. There was one guy, he took a penny that he found in a grocery store and turned it into $10,000. It took him like a month and a half. It took him about 6 weeks. He lives in I think he lives in Jamaica or somewhere. Black dude. He got a bunch, he get millions of views. Black dude out of Jamaica. This dude went and took a penny. He said, I'm gonna take this challenge. He recorded the whole thing. He went out and watched cars. He took a bucket that he found somewhere for free, watched cars and did whatever he could. Poured water. He borrowed water from people. Everything was borrowed. People gave it to him for free, just little shit that he didn't even have to pay for. And he went out and watched cars and made money, turned it into $400. Then he got on the internet and he started buying and selling off the internet. And that's what took him to the $10,000 5 figures. He said he had like $12,000 in his account, but he started buying little bitty shit. See what I'm saying? That's what makes the difference. Little stuff. Says if you create a trust fund for your child, putting in $14,000 a year from age 18, they will have $250,000 and $250,000. That's dropping $1,500 a month. Okay. I code in my free time. When's your next class? Can I get in now? The class is in March. Guys, the next class is going to be subscription based. If you want to get in now, please email me. Please, Subzero3639@gmail. Email me. I got to talk to you, because when I put this website up here, it's going to be subscription based, which means it's going to be monthly. So if you want to get in for $400 flat rate, holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Because based on the fees of what I'm going to have to pay my instructors and shit like that, I might not be able to charge $200 a month. I'm trying to, but based on, I talked to some developers yesterday. I talked to some people that I know. I talked to a couple of African brothers that worked with me on a project a couple of times. And he told me what he'll charge, and I did the math. The shit is getting kind of tight. See what I'm saying? So in this brother, I need people like him that have a Pan-African worldview, so to speak, teaching. So if y'all want to holler at me, subzero3639@gmail.com. I'm about Black empowerment. I love Black people. I think Black people are the most creative and most powerful people on the planet. I think we can be at the top of the food chain. I think in order for us to get there, we're going to have to get on our grind, and we're going to have to tell the truth about where we are and where we fuck up. Where we fuck up. Most of our damage right now is self-inflicted. Most of it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, man. This is self-inflicted. Nobody's gonna tell me nothing different. If you got a son or daughter and you get them to put you know what I'm saying, you put $10,000 in an account for them and they just draw and make it aggressive, 12%. $2.7 million. They'll be a millionaire by the time they're 40. Our damage is self-inflicted. This is why, guys, I'm gonna tell you a secret. This is what's going on. Let me tell you why there's one of the big racial wealth gap issues that a lot of people don't just want to sweep under the rug. I think the racial wealth gap comes from shit like this too. Because a lot of us have blue collar jobs that don't offer 401k, don't offer mutual funds. Most of the money in the stock market is white people. Black people invest at the lowest rate than anybody else. If you get a job, if I had a company and I'm paying $100,000 a year, I got an Asian, I got a white person, I got a Black person. The person that's going to maximize it to the most is going to be the Asian. And then the white person going to maximize it right at they kind of right neck and neck with each other. The Hispanic going to maximize it more than the Black person. Black person ain't going they going to barely opt in for that shit. And what happens is you work at a company for 10, 15 years. Oh, let me start throwing some money in there. You done missed 10 years of, you see what 10 years will do. See what I'm saying? Time is of the essence. There's no reason why your ass should not be a millionaire. We should all be millionaires in America. Knowing this right now, 25, 30 years from now, there should be we should close the racial wealth gap just by sheer interest alone. Just in interest alone. If we just take 10% of our tax returns every year and drop that shit into our damn mutual funds and let that shit ride. 10%, some shit you won't miss. And then you take out of that, you do another weekly. And let's say you do that by the time you are the first 10 years of your child's life. And then from there, you do, so you get them up to $10,000 by the time they 10. And then you putting $50 in there, which ain't even, that's nothing. I mean, the numbers, I could do this shit all day. You know what I'm saying? 36 millionaire by 36. Nope. That is if they 10. So 46. They'll be 46. They'll be 46 years old, a millionaire. And then, by the time they 50, they'll be worth 1.7. That's what's going on right now. That's why the racial wealth gap is like it is, because a lot of the wealth that white people hold is in the market. A lot of the wealth that white people hold is in their homes. The two areas. Number one, well, we can't afford that because we can't afford to live where they do. Okay, why not? Well, we don't have the education. Well, first, before we go to education, we don't have the jobs that they have. Well, what are the qualifications to get those jobs? Well, you got to have an educational background and experience. Okay, so how do you get educational background and experience? First of all, you come to sub03639@gmail.com. But back to the story. Collectively, Black people have the worst study habits in the country. We spend less than 30 minutes a night on homework. So what happens is we tend to not like math. So when we go to universities, what we do is we tend to major in psychology, sociology, human anatomy. Criminal justice and shit like that, right? And so what happens from there is we wind up getting out of college with weak ass degrees, working low end ass jobs, struggling to pay student loan. So you trapped. And then you call it racism. They trapped us in a low cycle. And so your house is $100,000, $150,000 at the most. The white person, they put in an hour a night. Their house is worth 250, 300. They got a job out of college because they went and majored in supply chain. They majored in computer science. They majored in shit that might take a little math. So they get out making 85, 90. I see that shit right here with all these Georgia Tech students right up here in Atlanta right now. They come, I told you I was on a project at Delta. And the Georgia Tech students reached out to Delta and told them, yeah, our so-and-so is not working properly. The students looked at it from Georgia Tech. They're going to come in. The students came in and sat there and did a presentation. Okay? They students at Georgia Tech. So that's who you competing against, right? That type of intelligence. So somebody that's smart enough to do some shit like that probably is going to get out of college and make way more than our black ass. So they're going to get out and make 85, 90. That's what they're going to make, which is what happens, right? And they probably going to work with 2 or 3 companies their whole life. Just telling you the truth. These people get these jobs and hold these motherfuckers for 5, 10 years, a lot of them. They do, because they're good. And the companies don't want to let them go, right? So what happens then? They wind up going and moving up the corporate ladder. By the time they in their 40s, they making $200,000. They head of so-and-so at some company. This is what happens. This is why when you ride out to North Atlanta, you go out to Sandy Springs, you see $700,000-$800,000 houses. And you, how the fuck they paying for $800,000 house? Who the fuck? It ain't no damn for sale signs because all of them are full. Who is buying $800,000 houses in Atlanta? The people that doing what I just told you. The people that, if you trace their history, that's where they came from. That's what it was. So we create a cycle on ourselves. We are self-inflicting the position where we are right now. It's self-inflicted, a lot of it today. It's a cycle. We call it racism. Well, the education system, fuck the education. I don't give a fuck where you go. You can go to Alabama and be in one of the worst states. You can be in Mississippi, South Carolina, whichever state. Take the worst educational system in the country. You can go to that bitch, put in 2 hours a night, watch what happens. Try me. Better yet, put in an hour and a half. Put in an hour a night and watch what happens. Not even 2. You ain't got to be good as the Asians. Let the Asians have Silicon Valley. We can't think that ain't for niggas. Niggas can't go to Silicon Valley. We ain't got the discipline, right? Let them have that. Let them have all the billions of dollars. All the tech companies, guys, tech will run the future. Tech is going to overtake oil as the largest industry on the planet. You mark my words. Oil is on its way out. These electric cars are coming out. They just announced yesterday that the Hummer is going to be electric. They finna bring the Hummer back. Electric cars are going to be all over this highway in a minute, and the oil companies are going to lose mark. They're going to watch. You watch. It's coming. It's coming. People are tired of paying for these gas prices. Yeah, supply chain is a hell of a major to go into. You get out of college in the supply chain major making 85. I've seen people make 85, 90. Dave Ramsey talks about it. That's a hell of a major to go to. But I'm gonna tell you like this: tech is the future. You want to position and poise yourself for the future, robotics and computer science. This is the shit that black people need to go for. If you don't want to do that, you will be stuck. These companies will offer you shit like this, but it'll be a 401k. And what you do is you give every dime you can to that motherfucker. If they're paying you 75, you maximize. You put 6% in, they put another, they'll match it up to 6%. You put your 6 in. That's 12% a year of your salary. So let's look at that for a second. So let's do that. Let's take this to 0. Oops, hold on. Let's take this to 0, right? And per month, you dropping $500, and you starting 23, just graduated college. And you know what? Let's just go 50, and let's see what happens. Whew. You're a millionaire by the time you're 49 years old. You millionaire. You're not even 50. You're a millionaire. This is why we not catching up to their ass, right? This is why you can't catch up to them white folks. Just in 27 years, dropping 500. Yeah, man, $500. Yeah, because okay, let's look at that. 12% of your yearly salary, $6,000 times 8. That's only $48,000, man. Shit, that's when you first start. You could take this up by the time you look, man. You getting out of college at making what 70? Some of these people. So let's just take. Let's not be crazy, but let's just take this and make this a 8, because that's really more around what you really will get at that per month, right? That's what we're really talking about. Y'all see that? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we're not talking no long ass time, man. Before you turn, by the time, so that's 50 years old, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45. By the time you're 45, you're a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Starting at 23 years old, and that's if you're making $70,000 a year and you ain't got nothing in your nothing. And you just going with this amount into mutual funds. 12% ain't even a good, that's not, let's just say 10. Shit. There you go. All right, it took you a couple more years, but you're still a millionaire by the time you're 48. But you're worth 1.3 by the time you're 50. That's if you're going $800 a month. Now, that's 8 times, that's only $9,600, which is, let's say, we're talking about 1/8 of your yearly salary, which is what the company will match. Most companies will match up to 6%. A lot of companies will. So you get 12% per year of your salary. By the time you 30, you getting $12,000. You easily put this number will easily be around this. That's what it'll be by the time you're 30 in IT. I'm telling you right now that's what you'll get. That's not hard. And they'll match, and then you'll become vested after 3 or 4 years or some shit like that. And that's it. Maximize that shit, man. Yeah, man, shit, I'm getting up 6% of my money. So fucking what? It's pre-tax. So what? Let them take it. If you're 20 years old and you get out of school, just make it where you're not even, especially when you're 20 years old. I got to meet this guy. Hold on 1 second. Let me talk to him. Hold on. Give me 1 second, man. It ain't unloaded yet.
No problem.
All right. Internet, man. I don't know what's going on with this. Should connect. They ain't disarming yet. Guys, I got to go on the. I'm gonna see y'all. I gotta go to a meeting. Y'all have a good day.
You said what, bro?